What do you love about Donald Trump?
I love the man. He's a real man, and I've been to 5 Trump rallies, and it just doesn't, we need him. This country needs him.
For what specifically? Like, what's the one thing when you say we need Donald Trump? What's the thing
He was an excellent leader. He he made lots of changes that really got our country moving, and these Democrats are ruining our country. They're just hell-bent on turning this country into a communist country, and they're going to try socialism first, then it'll go to communism, and we can't have that.
Where do you see that you're talking about evidenced in the last few years?
Trying to go to socialism? Well, let me think about that, because there's lots of things, but
So far in this interview, it's a standard release of generic talking points about how evil, scary, and socialist those libs are, and how Trump is the superhero that we all need to stop them. So, time for the details that Trump never let them in on.
all the regulations, big government. The government just keeps getting bigger. Hiring IRS agents to go after we the people, we the taxpayers that work to support the lazy Democrats that refuse to work. And that's why we need Donald Trump. Everybody in this country needs to work if they're able.
Right, but our joblessness numbers now are quite low in this country.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I'm going off the metrics that we use for every president and every administration. The Department of Labor statistics say that we have very low unemployment now.
How can that be? How can that be when we have
I'm not a labor expert, but I'm going off the numbers that we credit Trump and Clinton and
illegal aliens in our country that are unaccounted for, and just because there's jobs out there, that's not Biden's doing.
I'm not saying I'm just talking about the current state of affairs right now. Whatever presidency, whether it's like I said, Clinton or Reagan or Trump or Biden, we go off of Department of Labor statistics to say where the joblessness rate is, the unemployment rate, inflation, all of that. So right now we are in a good spot historically going by that metric. The one that we credited Donald Trump with is the one we now credit Joe Biden with. So I'm asking, what is it about this time that makes that different for you?
What has he done to improve our country? What has Joe Biden done to improve our country?
Well, Michael Short did just mention the jobless numbers, but the only time you're allowed to mention jobs is when you're claiming that those scary migrants from the South are taking all of them. But let's get back to those specifics.
You can bring up the jobless thing, but our country is being destroyed.
Can you get
From
more
within.
specific? So I'm just asking because I have no horse in the race. I'm just asking what it is specifically.
I don't know. I'm not well spoken enough to tell you that, but
But you're saying he's destroyed the country. How has he destroyed the country?
the open border is the main thing. Yes, and his liberal policies and these liberal Democrat judges that are letting criminals out on our streets that are, nobody's held accountable when they break the law. Stores are closing because of all the violence. They're terrible.
If President Biden were to come up to you now and say hi and introduce himself, what would you tell the president?
You probably don't want to know.
No,
But
I
Joe's
wouldn't have
gotta go. Joe's got to go. He's so demented, he doesn't even know where he's at. He's not running the country.
Who's running the country then?
Oh, Barack Obama.
He's running the country?
Yeah, from behind the scenes, yep.
No.
Joe Biden's not capable of doing anything. He can't even figure out how to get off of a stage.